It's the dawn of a new era in the battle for Android supremacy. Once again, an aluminum obelisk from Taiwan faces off against a polycarbonate contraption from South Korea. As HTC and Samsung once again prepare to slug it out, we're here to see just what their respective flagships tell us about the way they'll do battle this year. I'm Michael Fisher with Pocketnow, and this is HTC versus Samsung in 2014. The just-released all-new HTC One competes directly with the Samsung Galaxy S5. We've already reviewed the all-new HTC One, see the link in the description for that, and we've also gone hands-on with the Galaxy S5 on 2 continents. Our time with each gives us a pretty good idea of where these companies will be pinning their hopes and making their stands in the year ahead. In some ways, 2014 looks a lot like 2013. With the all-new One, HTC builds on its legacy of outstanding craftsmanship, boosting the aluminum-to-plastic ratio from 70 to 90% in the new model and giving the gunmetal version's backplate a brushed hairline finish that wouldn't look out of place in a gourmet kitchen. The wraparound metal and zero-gap construction gives the new M8 an unmistakably luxurious feel in the hand that has yet to be exceeded by any other Android manufacturer. That includes Samsung. While the glass-weave construction of the S5 offers a welcome reprieve from the hyperglazed days of old, the stippled texturing only reinforces its roots in plastic. And the device's familiar face and light weight may put longtime Galaxy fans at ease, but they also recall the worst of that line's cheap feeling, which began with the Galaxy S3 and continued in slightly improved form with the S4. But Samsung didn't become the world's largest smartphone maker by accident. It did so by bringing a lot of compelling features to the table. And one of those, on the Galaxy S5, looks to be its camera. The new shooter comes with an advanced flash, rapid and selective focus, advanced HDR, and Samsung's usual bevy of shooting modes, all of it wrapped in Samsung's traditional, easy-to-use viewfinder. Now, HTC matches most of that point for point on the new One, and it throws in the added bonus of a dedicated depth sensor for focus adjustment without multiple exposures. Plus, it's got a keen new viewfinder of its own, improved Zoe's, and the best gallery experience around. So why does Samsung have the edge in this case? Resolution. Even if you're not a member of the spec-obsessed, the disparity in the Galaxy S5's 16-megapixel camera and the HTC One's 4-megapixel shooter is tough to ignore, even if you consider HTC's far superior front-facing camera. But HTC comes back swinging with boom sound. The company might have ditched Beats Audio, but that doesn't mean it's given up on delivering a superb audio experience with the M8. On the contrary, the new One features new speakers, new amplifiers, and larger chamber size than its predecessor, resulting in a claimed 20% increase in volume over the original HTC One, and the best audio experience we've ever heard on a smartphone. Meanwhile, Samsung's single speaker continues to loiter around back on the Galaxy S5. No matter how loud it may be, it's obvious that Samsung's focus is not on audio. Instead, it's on expanding into a zone the company is relatively new to, the active person's lifestyle. In addition to the bevy of wearables the company announced a few weeks back, Samsung also revealed that it had ported a capability from last year's Galaxy S4 Active to its new Halo device: life-proofing. Actually, IP67 water and dust resistance, something Sony's been doing for quite a while. Apparently, Samsung wanted in on the praise from the press, and what praise has come is well earned. Again, we have yet to review the Galaxy S5, but we've been saying durable phones shouldn't have to be crappy phones for years, and it's nice to see a company as large as Samsung agree. Sadly, it doesn't seem as though HTC will jump on that bandwagon anytime soon. The jewel-like precision construction of the all-new One doesn't exactly lend itself to durability. Fortunately, HTC is taking steps to address that in another way, at least here in the United States. Not only has the company made a promise to offer timely Android and Sense updates to its premium smartphones within 90 days of a major release, it's also begun offering free or inexpensive cracked screen replacements to those whose phones have an unpleasant run-in with the ground. All this is covered under a support program called HTC Advantage, and while Samsung has similar programs in some parts of the world, it has nothing comparable here in the US as of yet. There's one thing both companies will focus intently on in 2014: specs. Sure, HTC opted not to supercharge its ultra-pixel camera this time around, but the M8 is still a powerhouse. Not only does it boast the new Snapdragon 801 processor, it also brings a feature its predecessor took some heat for leaving out: microSD expansion. Of course, Samsung has offered that on most of its smartphones for years, and the Galaxy S5 is no exception. Also, the S5 does take the additional step of incorporating a larger, removable battery. When coupled with its fingerprint scanner, heart rate sensor, and its slightly faster Snapdragon 805 processor, the S5 still edges out the HTC One, but the gap is narrower now than it has been in the past few years. Whether the gap in sales numbers between these two fierce rivals will narrow as well is still anyone's guess. It comes down to how well HTC is able to market the M8, and how successful Samsung will be at convincing people that the Galaxy S5 brings enough new to the table. Whatever happens, it's interesting to see these two massive companies tweaking their formulas to stay competitive. Samsung by toning down the gimmicks somewhat, HTC by sticking to its familiar formula, and, if rumors are to be believed, boosting its marketing effort. Ultimately, of course, it all comes down to who buys more of what. So, help us predict the future. Leave a comment below telling us which of these products or companies you're throwing your money behind, and which one you think will emerge victorious at the end of the year. As I said in the narration, folks, our full review of the all-new HTC One is available right now. The video review is here on YouTube, and our written review is in the description down below. Click that first link to go to Pocketnow.com, read all the details you can get on HTC's new flagship. Also down there, a like button and a comment section. Please use them as you see fit, and follow us on social media so you don't miss future content from Pocketnow. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching. This has been Michael Fisher with Pocketnow, and we'll see you on the next one.